What's going on, people? It's Mr. Door back again with the Forest and Cardiff preview. I hope everyone's well. But yes, I've got some topics today as well. But first of all, I've got a Cardiff fan called William Wetford. Really last minute for him, so I do appreciate it. And then afterwards, I've got Thomas Newton and the legend Malcolm on as well. So I hope everyone's all good. I hope everyone's all good to watch this. But yeah, so the preview is for about tomorrow's game. Massive game. After a shocking performance against QPR in the league. What's everyone's prediction? Comment below. What do you think those predictions will be for tomorrow? So right now, I'm going to try and get William on. So William, if you can come on, it will be a good help if you can. So, what's everyone's prediction for tomorrow? No, that's like. Oh, so well, I'm sending the link again, William. Right, William, if you're watching, I'm going to send you the link on here. Right, this is for William, Cardiff fan, so you can come and watch. Your name. So yeah, what's everyone's prediction for tomorrow? Like I said, after a shocking defeat against QPR. Yeah. So yes, right now I'm gonna put Cardiff fan William on there.
Hello, Ben.
Hello, Will. How you doing? You okay?
Not too bad of you.
Well, I've been better. I've been better. So this is William. He's a Cardiff fan. So we're going to talk about tomorrow's game. So William,
yes,
did Cardiff? Who did Cardiff play the first game of the season?
We played. We lost 2-0 at home. Lost 2-0 at home. Lost 2-0 at home. I know we lost 2-0 at home. Now we lost 2-0 at home to
Sheffield Wednesday.
Every Wednesday, yes.
Wednesday. Did you watch the game?
Yes. We had all the possession, we just couldn't score in the final third. Just nothing up front. Just they played better than us. We conceded it back. Bakuna's fault for the pass, for the goal, first one. The second goal, well, Smithies didn't have no chance for it. So, yes.
So, with tomorrow's game now, as a Cardiff fan, have you been watching Forest? How they've been on?
I went to City Ground 2 years ago. Yes, I did. We won. We won with your bogey team.
Let's say Cardiff, they've got a fantastic record at the City going out there. I know they beat us 1-0 last season. And is it Mendes Lang?
Mendes Lang, and he's gone now.
Yeah, so
made a mistake.
But now he's not there anymore, is he?
No.
Do you know the reason why he got sacked?
Well, we believe it's drugs. We think it's drugs. He was a follower of drugs.
drugs.
Yes.
Okay. So, as you know, you've got Neil Harris as a manager. He's
He's leaving Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, ex-Nottingham Forest manager. So how's it been since he took over the club?
Yes. He didn't do too bad this last season. Let's be honest. Got to the playoffs. Should have been first game we lost 2-0 against Fulham at home. We blew it. Could have won it. We could have won it. We won the second game, but it's too late. We had our chances.
Okay.
Yeah, we limited chances against the Fulham game. We could have done it, but he took us where he had to. 1-2 bad at Millwall. The well for Millwall. He did play for us, for the Bluebirds, a couple of times, and he went to Nottingham Forest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So, tomorrow's game.
So it's a big game for Neil Harris tomorrow.
Yeah. So, like I say, yeah. So it's a big game for Forest and Cardiff. As you know,
Robert Earnshaw used to play for you. Robert Earnshaw used to play for Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, Robert Earnshaw.
Yes, he did well for us.
Yeah. So, last but not least, Will. So, what do you think? What do you think the score will be tomorrow?
I think we'll beat Nottingham Forest at the City Ground by 2-1.
Who do you think will score?
I hope Kiefer Moore will score for his first goal tomorrow, because he signed for Wigan for $2 million this season. He does well for Wales. But our defence looks shaky. Morrison looks shaky. You never know. But we normally have a team for Nottingham Forest.
Okay. So, now this is William. He's a massive Cardiff fan. So, where are you watching the game tomorrow?
I'm watching it in the house.
In the house, okay.
Yeah.
But like I said, William, thank you very much for coming on late notice. But yeah, thank you very much, Will, and hopefully Forest win tomorrow.
Yeah, well, I hope Bluebirds win tomorrow, but it'll be a close game.
Right. Thank you for coming on.
That's all right. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ben.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Ben.
Thank you. Oh, legend. Like I said, he came on last minute. So I do appreciate William for coming on. I know he suffers with autism as well. So thank you very much for William for coming on. Right, now, next, I'm going to get Thomas on, if Thomas can come on. He's a Nottingham Forest fan, just like me. And try and get Malcolm on as well. Okay. But yeah. I'm just told. Right, so let me get Thomas on. But yeah, tomorrow, it's big game tomorrow. What do you think the score will be tomorrow, people? Like I said, Lamouchi, he is under pressure. Last week's game was awful. Like grabbing three chances he had, and he should be scoring them goals, to be fair. But yeah. Right. Right, and here's Thomas. Right, so here's Thomas Newton, another big Forest fan. He travelled Forest home and away, and all it is, I'm going to get his opinion on Sabri Lamouchi and how Forest will do this season. How are you doing, Thomas?
Yeah, good, thanks. You?
Could be better. Could be better. So this is Thomas. Just like me, he's a big Forest fan that travels home and away. And I'm going to give Thomas his opinion on Lamouchi and how Forest will do the season. So Thomas, Sam Lamouchi, what do you think of him so far?
Well, when he come in, I thought he was a breath of fresh air. But since the Charlton game in February, something for whatever reason hasn't been quite right. The from February, then we obviously had the lockdown and everything. We just haven't been the same. He says he's going to change his philosophy. And in the 2 games, what we've had this season against Barnsley and QPR, I haven't really seen a change, and I don't think many of us have either.
I think I don't know if you feel the same, but since we've drawn to Derby 1-1, it's just not been the same.
I think many of the players on that pitch, I think they've just been mentally bruised by it. They were so near of doing it. Well, there's not many chances over a season that you're going to beat Derby 3 times in a row, and was agonisingly close. And then we basically stumbled to the Stoke game, and like I said, we haven't been the same since. And it's the record since February isn't good. I mean, I don't think we've won in 8 games now or something like that.
8 games. 8 games.
And I think if you look over since New Year, I think you can count on probably just about one hand how many games we've actually won since January. Then now he's obviously brought more new players in, and they've got to gel, but time may not be on his side. If we don't get the result tomorrow, then we've got next week. So the knives are out really early, but obviously we've had a hangover since like the end of last season.
Thomas, I'm just going to get Malcolm in. Malcolm's here, so I'm just get Malcolm in. Hello, Malcolm. Hello, Malcolm.
Ben. Hello, Ben.
Hello, Malcolm. How you doing? Oh my days! What's he done to his hair? What's he done to his hair?
I don't know what's done to me. I'm waiting to see my barber. Social bubble.
So yeah, Malcolm, we're just talking to Thomas about Forest, Lamucci. Thomas, carry on what you're saying, Thomas. Sorry.
Yeah, I just think since the February, we haven't been, since the Charlton game in particular, we haven't been the same side. Then we had the Derby game after lockdown, and I think we've been mentally bruised since then. And the quicker we get a couple of results on the board, the better. But if we don't get a result tomorrow, then unfortunately the pressure will be on from the fan base, because we're notorious being one of the most fickle fan bases in the country.
You know what? I was going to mention Malcolm about that because this week this is my opinion. If people don't believe, comment below. People have been just bombarding Ryan Yates about him being the weakest link. And Malcolm, what do you think about it, Malcolm?
Well, before I comment on anything, Ben, good evening, Mr. Newton. How are you?
I'm good, thanks, Malcolm. Are you?
Yeah, great to see you, mate. I'm surprised.
Yeah, likewise.
I'm surprised I haven't seen you at the golf club. I've been playing that much.
Oh, I know. I mean, you've been to Ruddington a few times, and I'm always like nearest to Mansfield. So we will pass one of these days on the golf course.
I have played there a few times this lockdown, but anyway, that's by the by. I was around your brother's house the other night.
I know he's done his ankle, hasn't he?
He's a clown, isn't he? Anyway, what do I think? I'll come back to the stats in a bit, Ben, because I wrote down some stats while Tom was talking about the hangover from the Derby game. Because I agree, I think social media this week in particular, since we lost to QPR, has been absolutely toxic. It's been disgraceful. I mean, we have got the most fickle fans in the country. We've got a mate in our group, Lee Tilston, who's from the Wirral, and he comes down to Forest. If he left supporting Liverpool to support Forest years ago, and Lee was talking about it to us the other night, and he was like, I don't get it. And it's like, that's how it's always been. I mean, look at, we talked about the Ryan Yates situation the other night, and I always say football is about opinions, and I will respect everybody's opinion. And I can only give an opinion from my point of view. I've been a Forest season ticket holder since I was, 10 years old. So over 40 years. I've been going to Forest over 40 years, home and away, Europe. I've been all over. And I'm a qualified UEFA B coach. It doesn't mean a lot to some people, but I like to think that I understand football. I grew up under Brian Clough and watching some amazing football. And I'll be honest with you, Ryan Yates, from a coach's point of view, Ryan Yates can play football. Whether it's an attacking team or a defensive team, Ryan Yates can play football at whatever level. But the attitude of some people towards him has been just disgraceful. It's the lad don't deserve it.
Yeah, the worst thing about it, it's like it's on social media, and he is on social media, so he's going to see it. But the thing is, with Forest fans, well, I wouldn't say the majority, but there's a minority. Every single season there has to be a scapegoat. Gone now.
Tom, we were talking about this.
And now it's Brian Yates.
Scott Gemmell, Gareth Heads, Gareth Williams.
Gareth Williams was bad.
Benny Osborne, whoever it's been, and they leave, and we go, oh, they were quite a good player, really, weren't they?
Look at Ben Osborne playing for Premiership.
Yeah, and and we haven't been in that for 21 years now. So, but no, it's toxic. And then there's
you can see why Joe Lolly came off social media, can't you?
Yeah. And then you've got some fans who are saying after the Stoke game, oh, why haven't the players come out and apologise to the fans? Well, for that reason alone, it's going to be even more toxic. So the club have said, do not go on social media if you know what's best for you. So it's toxic, because tomorrow, if we win, we'd be like, oh, everything's all rosy and everything. We're going in the top 6. If we lose, it'd be like, oh, that's it, League One, here we come. So there's no medium.
I said this to Lee in our chat room the other night. I said to Lee, I says, you watch. I says, the next 2 games, we'll get 2 wins. It'll be, we're going up. It's great. We're going to get the Premiership. We're going to win the league. It's automatic. And if we lose 2, it's going to be Lamucci out. We're going down. It's all doom and gloom.
Yeah.
We've played 1 league game this season.
Yeah.
And the performance wasn't good. But we've got a real hangover from last season. I wrote some stats down, Tom. Okay.
Yeah.
So Lamucci been in charge for 52 games, and he's got a win ratio of 38%. Okay, 20 wins, 16 draws, 16 losses. All right.
Yeah.
In 2019 calendar year, so from June when he joined us, in the league games, league and cup games up to the 31st of December, he won 13, drew 7, and lost 7. So he had a 48% win ratio, which is as good as he who shall not be named, who's got the best win ratio. Ben knows what I mean. Who's got the best win ratio since Brian?
They said it.
I mentioned him, didn't I? I was trying not to. Yeah, but since January, we've played 23. We've won 7, lost 9, and drawn 9. So we've only got a 30% win ratio. So something after Christmas has gone wrong. Whatever it is, something has gone wrong.
I was in a debate yesterday on Twitter, and I won't mention names.
Mention him.
And basically, there was a big debate about the number of players we've got, and people said, "Oh, the recruitment needs to change, this, that, and the other." Well, if you look at it, we've had 3 or 4 managers in the last 20 odd months. With Warburton, who's got like the likes of Zach Clough there, and Derrick, who he brought in. Then you've got Karanka's players, you've got some of O'Neill's players, then the majority of Lamucci's players. And until we stop that trend of keep swapping managers, you're going to have this constant influx of players coming through the door. But then, if you look at it last season, we was relying heavily on players who were basically not fully fit, like Figueiredo, Lolly, Graben, and we couldn't even get across the line. So we've gone for like a bit more strength in depth. And people are moaning that the squad's too big. And then we've had the pandemic. Then we've had the then there's obviously a shorter pre-season. Then the new season starts, and players are going to be fatigued. They're going to break down. And like last season, we played when we had a starting 11. It was strong enough to probably keep on the coattails of Leeds and West Brom. But when we wanted a bit more strength in depth, We just didn't have it, and that's why we suffered. Because, like I says, Graben was running on fumes. Lolly, he picked up shin splints. Figueiredo was fatigued as well. And you can't, if you want to get promoted, you need a strong squad and decent numbers in depth, and we didn't have that last season.
So you know, like tomorrow's game, like it's important as well. Would you swap any players from the QPR game?
I was in and out of that game because I was I'm busy, so I can't have a definitive opinion on it. But
who would you take out? Who would you take out? Like,
I'm not sure. So Ben, can I just jump in? I'm not so much sure it's who you would take out. I think one of the biggest issues we got at the moment is the formation.
Yeah,
because we play a very defensive game. We play on the counter attack, which that's Lemucci's style, and that's what he won't change. He will not change. He just won't change. He won't play two up top. Okay, so he'll play two holding midfielders, and he'll play one up front, and he'll play three across in between. Okay, and he's not going to change. So it's not so much who we take out. It's what does he do anything with the formation? Because we're at home tomorrow. Now there's no crowd there, so home advantage isn't really a thing, is it? So if we were playing at home with two holding defenders, that would be a different matter. If there was a crowd in there, wouldn't there? So it's I don't think he'll change. I don't think he'll change anybody in that team tomorrow, unless there's an injury.
So you think he'll keep the same team then for QPR?
Yeah, he might change one player, but I don't think he will. I think he'll keep the same team.
I think he may change the left back, and even though I was listening to a podcast the other day, related one, and he come out after the QPR game and said not picking Ribeiro was a mistake. But having listened to what other people have said, Tyler Blackett was solid, if not, well, he wasn't spectacular, but he was solid. So it'd be harsh on Tyler Blackett to come out the side for Ribeiro, who is one of them, isn't it?
Tom, I still think that Blackett was signed to play at left back, and I think Ribeiro, if he was going to stay, is going to push on. I think he's going to play left midfield. I've said that pre-season to the guys.
Yeah, more attacking.
Yeah, I think the player that's under most threat is Lolly, because it just, to me, for the last over a year, he hasn't looked fit for whatever reason. He's either got a bad hip, shin splits, whatever he's got. He doesn't look fit, and he needs a good rest.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
Rivera, I think Blackett was actually signed so that Rivera could push on.
Because for Lolly, didn't he have a broken toe midway through last season or something like that? Then he's had shin splints, and when I've had shin splints before, and it takes a long time to get back to. I'm not saying I'm nowhere near Lolly's, but it's hard when you have that kind of injury to come back from it. You see, and so and obviously, but it's one of them. So, but yeah, so yeah, I hope. Like I said, I think there'll be like the odd change. Is it Bashiru? He might play some legs in midfield, but
he won't play. Personally, I think he'll play Colback and Yates tomorrow. I think he'll play Yates tomorrow just to prove a point. Because, like I said, if you look at it, tomorrow's game will shoot by Yates because Cardiff are the team that bully. And I don't know, Tom, did you go to the Forest in Cardiff away?
No, but I watched it on television. So
because I remember, I think Ryan Yates, he was shocking for the first half, and he was taken out.
Yeah.
So, but at home, I know there's no fans, but personally, I'll play Yates just to prove a point to the fans because he's got to. Because if he does play and he's shocking, then fans again are going to go for him. But personally, I'll go for copying Yates. But what do you two think?
Well, Colback's going to be replacing Ben Watson, but he's a definite on the starting 11. So is he fit tomorrow?
Yeah, they're all fit. Everyone's fit. But Silver's not.
Right. Yeah, I know it's a couple of. So yeah, I reckon I wouldn't play two holding midfielders, but I can see him doing that anyway. And then I think he'll bring. I think Amiobi will start, and depends how fit Lolly is. I don't think there's going to be drastic changes, but we need a big improvement of how we play. But having said that, last week, looking at the reports, if Graben scored those chances, it's a different game, isn't it? So
yeah, personally, grabbing like I think he had 3 chances, and he should be scoring against QPR.
He's a notorious slow starter, isn't he, Graben?
Yeah.
I mean, the season when we bought him, I don't think he scored until the sixth game. But then last season, I think he scored relatively early. I don't think they Birmingham like 3rd game in. Or was it Leeds?
Leeds, he got the equaliser in the second game.
Yeah, he started scoring pretty early, you see. So, but he's a slow burner, Graben is, and plus he's had this pre-season, which is like no other. It's been like 3 weeks pre-season.
So another subject, like as you know, Forest are buying everyone and linked with everybody. I think we're buying, is it Sabi Christie from Fulham? How many players got like? Is it 38 players, 39 players?
You only had a squad of 25. Somebody alluded to yesterday on Twitter.
You know, what do you lot think about it? Or like, what's a big squad like? What do you think, Thomas?
I think the squad needs to be smaller, but we need strength in depth and quality, because sometimes, like last season, we replaced somebody and he just wasn't good enough. But having said that, I think some players will inevitably leave, and I think we've got some players who just won't either see out the contract because they're just. I'm not naming names, but there'll be some players on who we're paying. It's probably the best contract they're ever going to see, and then they'll quite sit on it. Those players aren't playing nowhere. The one player I'm talking about, and you probably know who it is, he hasn't played in a Forest shirt for about 2 years, and we're still paying him.
You're about Clough.
Yeah, and say for example, if he's on £8,000 a week, I'm not saying he is, but if he is, he's never going to see that money ever again in his career. So he's just on it. Unfortunately, it's just how some professionals. We've got Heckler, who is probably on a Premier League wage because we got him from Huddersfield. We probably allowed a bonus increase for promotion. Then you got Benalouan, who was into the squad. So they're 3 players, and if the employees can't shift them, then what do you do? I don't know whether it's cheaper to just keep paying them or pay them off in one lump sum.
You know what? Personally, I'll just pay them off because, like I said, like people like Hefner, even Bong.
Yeah, but Ben, financial fair play, can we afford to pay them off? That's the problem you've got. So we've got a big squad, we've got a big wage bill. I mean, if they bring in this cap, this £18 million salary, total salary cap for the whole club, we're in big trouble. Because we spent 23 million last year on salaries.
I think is our wage bill like 107% of our.
Yeah. It's and with no fans coming in, how are you going to sustain that? So I still think there's a couple of players to go out in the transfer window, and I wouldn't mind betting there's no smoke without fire, and I wouldn't mind betting that it's going to be Ribeiro and Silva that go, and I think it will be.
Tell you what, I do like when Joe Wall was on his game. He is a really good defender, and if we could do a swap deal with Ben Gibson, who was on the periphery of the England squad a couple of years ago when he was at Middlesbrough when they were in the Premier League, I'd quite happily do a cash swap for him if it means staying within financial fair play.
Wait. Been confirmed. Sabi Christie at Sam Forest. Confirmed.
Is that a loan or a
loan? Season-long loan. It's just been confirmed.
Interesting.
Yeah. So we've got 4 right backs now.
God's sake, not another one.
Going back to Worrell and financial fair play, I said to the guys last night, I fully expect him to go. If it's not this transfer window, it'll be January transfer window. But I spoke to my mate whose dad's a director at Burnley last night, and he said they've got no interest in Worrell at all.
So, yeah.
So it's like You know how you mentioned Ben Gibson, Tom? Do you know he's at Norwich?
Is he? No, I don't know. I thought he was still at Burnley. Right.
No, he's at
Norwich. I wasn't aware. I thought he was like still at Burnley, still not getting a game. So yeah, I do apologize.
Malcolm, you could have told Thomas. That's shocking from you, coach.
It's not my position to correct a fellow pundit, especially one of Thomas's standing, because I've got a lot of respect for him. Because when we have a debate on social media, he talks sense, and I like it. So
yeah,
Thomas, I ain't gonna fall out of him. I like it. Good guy.
Thomas, it was funny. Right? I've seen one of your tweets. You was arguing with a fellow Forest fan. I'm not going to mention one of the groups. Do you know who I'm talking about? It was one of the guy who bowled a lot.
Yeah, last week.
Yeah, I thought to myself, I'm not going to mention his name. I'm not going to come in because I thought.
Yeah, it was like it says the person in question. I've got no problems with him, but when I was part of the supporters trust, one thing you cannot do is basically accuse or make accusations that the club's doing this and that if you want a relationship with the club. So basically, you can't bite the hand what's feeding you. Like I said, I've got no problem with opinion and everything, but if you're in a certain capacity and you want to do this and that with the club, then sometimes you just got to like hold back and not be so voice so many opinions.
Yeah, I think some of that's a little bit of immaturity and naivety. Sometimes it's it's like when people are going on about, well, why does Sabri say this to the Colin Frey? You know, why does he make all these obvious statements? It's because that's what they're trained. That's what they're told to do. You know, they can't come out and they're going to lose the dress. If he comes out and goes, Lolly was crap today, Grabban, was rubbish. He should have scored them 2 goals. He's just going to lose the dressing room, and then he's going to get slaughtered by the fans for that as well. So
you can't win, can you?
So the social media is the greatest and the worst invention of all time.
Definitely.
It's football now is so. Everything in life, but football in particular, is so toxic now. You can't have a debate with someone before they go off and it gets personal.
Yeah, I mean, exactly, and I mean, with it, it's like people can hide behind a keyboard or whatever, a mobile phone, and say this, that, but would they actually do it in the street and go up to that individual?
Hey Ben, got any comments on that?
Well,
I'll
tell you what, and I'm not just saying it because he's on, but you know, with when this pandemic was kicking off back in February, March, and Ben was going to the Sheffield Wednesday game, the amount of like vicious tweets was just bang out of order. And I felt so sorry for you, Ben, that you do what you do something what you love, and you got people out there who's just basically just want to say you this and that, and it was horrible. So
you know, Thomas, right? I learned from when I first started doing all this. Like I say, people are going to hate it, and that's their opinion, and that's all good. But what it was is what it is. But Malcolm helped me there, because I don't know if no one knows. Malcolm helped me a lot with the statement I put out from it, because I'm not gonna lie, 1 or 2 comments did hurt me, but it was personal comments. People can throw comments about me being a Forest fan or whatever, vlogger, but it is what it is. People love it, people hate it, but I think if it ever happened again, Thomas, then. But the problem is, I've been doing it for 2 years, Thomas, and I've been to every away game, and I've never been abused. Never been abused, and they've never said to my face.
Can I just jump in there as well? Because I would like to say on the record that you and I were both in the same position. We both met Marinakis, and we both had a photograph taken with him, and we both rang on the insistence of our employers. We both rang the NHS helpline and told them what we'd done, and we both got told there's no need to self-isolate. There was no need to go for a test. You did not meet the minimum criteria, which is 2 minutes. At that time, it was to be stood with that person for 2 minutes or exchange bodily fluid. And we did not, despite the fact we love Marinakis, we did not meet those 2 criteria. So the NHS helpline said to us, "You are free to go about your business as freely as you like." So there'd have been nothing to stop. But certain people on social media, who I don't have a problem with anybody. Certain people on social media went on a personal crusade saying it was disgraceful, this, that, and the other, and then they get all their friends sticking up for them and what have you. When actually they don't know what the facts were. So I said to Ben, if the Sheffield Wednesday game had been on, I said to him, even though I didn't post a picture of myself on social media in Marinakis, I said to Ben, I'm just not going to go because it's not worth the aggravation. It's just not worth it.
That's a shame. In terms of you want to do something that you love, but then it's like people who are not from a medical capacity, the kibosh on that, even though you've sought medical advice and they says go and do what you want to do. It's just a sad state of affairs at the moment. Like people poke their noses into other people because social media tools there, and they think it gives them the reason to go and have a go at anybody who they like. And it's wrong.
You know what it is, Thomas?
Haters will always hate.
You know what it is, Thomas? Like I said, it's the same old people that troll me, but it is what it is. I've learned from it, and since then, there's not to the word, but
it was the same when I was at the start of the interim board and setting up the supporters trust, and it wasn't for like self-glory or anything like that. At the time, we had basically an ownership what was basically drilling us into the ground, and we saw all the we educated ourselves, went to like various meetings, etc., to see if it was viable. Then you get some people who still to this day says, "Oh, it's a self-elected board," and it isn't like that. Anybody who's a member can basically apply to be elected on the board, but everybody thinks it's like a little pack kind of thing, and they do what they want, and that's not the case. If you want to like be a member, then it gives you the opportunity to be on the board. But some people don't see it like that. They feel that it's they can just say what they want and they don't know the full facts surrounding it.
Yeah. But sorry, Malcolm. Sorry.
Can I just change the subject because I've got to go in a minute.
Yeah.
But before I go, can I go back to the original thing about the stats? So since the turn of the year, we've got a 30% win ratio, and before the turn of the year, we had 48%. Where's it gone? Where's it gone wrong? What's happening? What's happening with the club? What's going on behind the scenes? What is it? What's wrong? Why have we suddenly gone down? We've gone from being automatic promotion contenders to being also rans. What's gone wrong?
I think
Thomas, you answer this.
I think mentally and physically there's a factor because the squad hasn't been big enough since. Well, we beat Leeds and we got a decent result against West Brom back in February, but I don't think the squad's been strong enough. And then because they've been mentally fatigued, they've been letting goals in, then morale and confidence starts to ebb away. And I think that's a problem. And then in the summer, they've tried to address it where I'm not against players from the continent coming, but the Championship is the hardest league in European football, in my eyes. And you've got to be basically geared up to play Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday and have that mentality. And if you're not used to it, then obviously something's going to suffer. So they've tried to address it in this in the summer, getting like players who have got a championship now, etc. And it's just going to take a bit longer to actually gel together. But then it goes back to the fact that have we got time for Sabri Lamucci? Because if we start, say, we don't win the next 4 games, then the pressure's really going to be on for him to basically stay as manager.
Massively. But if Leeds hadn't stuck with Bielsa last season, they wouldn't have got promoted, would they?
Exactly.
No. Right. So before Malcolm goes, Malcolm, I'm going to give you a prediction for tomorrow. What do you think the score will be?
1-1.
1-1.
Yeah,
How come?
I think. Oh, it'll be a hard game tomorrow, and I think it'll be 1-1. I think we'll get a draw tomorrow. Don't get me wrong, I'd love us to win, but it's. I think it's going to be tough.
Thomas?
Scrappy 2-1 win.
Nice. I'll take that, Tom.
Just remember, we've got a bad record against Cardiff at home, so just remember that.
No, what is it? 1 win. I think it's 1 win at home. It's 1 win in 10 years, is it? 2012, the last time we beat them at home.
Yeah, so it's going to be tough. I think we lost 1-0, didn't we, last season?
Yeah, they scored early on. I can't remember who scored. I think they scored in like
Mendes Lang,
who's been sacked for whatever reason. It was like they scored early on, didn't they? Then that was it. They just started time wasting. The City Ground crowd got frustrated, and we couldn't break them down.
Yeah, no, they killed the game definitely, and their manager can't stand him.
Malcolm, you can't stand no one.
Yeah, okay.
Well, yeah, Malcolm and Thomas, thank you very much for for coming on. But yeah, this is Thomas and Malcolm. Hopefully, we do win. And Malcolm, no rants, please. I'm sick of telling your rants. I've had enough. Thomas, if you want to take over, I'm sick of it.
Yeah, I'm available at any time. So.
I love you too, Dore.
Malcolm and Thomas, like I said, thank you very much, and hopefully we do win tomorrow.
Okay, stay safe.
Cool.
Stay safe.
Stay safe.
Peace and love.
Cheers. Take care.
Peace and love.
Peace and love. Thank you very much, Malcolm and Thomas. Thank you. Cheers, Tom. But yeah, that's Thomas and Malcolm, big Forest fans. But yes, we've just announced we've signed Karen Christie. The vlog's out now, so go and check it. But yes, I'm doing a watch along tomorrow. But make sure if you're new to my channel, make sure you do subscribe. And if you like, and again, like I said, thank you for Thomas and Malcolm for coming on. I'll be on tomorrow 12 for the watch along. So if you do want to join me, you can. but yeah, hopefully everyone stays safe. And when I do finish this vlog, go and watch the vlog I just put out now for Christy. But yeah, I'll see everyone tomorrow, and everyone make sure to stay safe and up the forest.